Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Alex Berger. Today we're talking about the stolen police car chase that happened this week and what Echevarria is saying about it. Then we're getting a breakdown of Pritzker's State of the State and budget address that he gave earlier today.
And lastly, we are still honoring Black History Month. We've got two special stories for you that I personally worked on.
She did.
But our first story of the day, just more than 24 hours after a group of young people allegedly stole a Jeep, they took it for a joyride, actually, across Peoria. Now, Police Chief Eric Echevarria says change is a community effort. Alex Berger is already in the hot seat and went to a press conference held by the police department. So what was the energy in the room like?
Yeah, I should apologize. There was like 2 different spelling errors on my part in there. I tripped you up on that one. But so the room energy, obviously, so this was held in the auditorium room that the police department has. It wasn't tense. It wasn't, there wasn't a tense atmosphere. As you can see, there's Echevarria there speaking at the podium. And you're seeing the footage of the scene yesterday morning. And this happened in the morning. There were events allegedly that happened at, the 6:45 hour, in the 7 o'clock hour. And it was a chain of events allegedly. But yeah, for today's press conference, this was just addressing what happened. There was 2 adults, 4 juveniles involved in this situation. 4 young people. One of them was allegedly 13 years old and has prior
at 13.
Yes, prior. Almost every one of them, almost every one of the alleged suspects has priors on their record. And so it was very much Echevarria calling for changes within the juvenile justice system and corrections to be made. But he did make note, he is not placing blame on people. He wanted to make sure that that was clear. He was not placing blame. He is just calling for accountability for parents.
Okay, and what changes, does he have any specific changes he would like to see?
Yeah, it's kind of the same sort of message that we've seen time over time. And really, you can't always change the messaging because, at some point, obviously there's a redundancy to it. And there is, people are kids and, young adults, they'll go out and do this crime. He said there's no rhyme or reason to it, right? And so it's really, the changes he wants to see is some sort of justice reform of sorts. He mentioned legislation. He did note he's not a politician. He's the police chief. He said he wants to stay in that role. He says that, residents know who to call for something like that. But and again, for anyone who is not aware, this is from the Jeep crash at Maine University, where they allegedly attacked somebody at a gas station. They went to a high school, did donuts, Peoria High School, did donuts, went to Richwoods, and then allegedly tried to run over somebody coming off the bus. So a whole lot of events. So and it took them on a high-speed chase. Attorney Jody Hoos saying that their top speed even reached 90 miles an hour.
Ooh,
so yes,
that's interstate speed, allegedly.
Yes, it is. Yes, exactly. So that's the breakdown.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex. Now switching gears here. I love how this says anyone around our age, but Alex and I have what? How old are you?
We're only two years different.
I was like, we got almost
I'm 23.
Right, we have exactly 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I'll be 33 in March, so we have about 10 years between us.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you know Hannah Montana?
Of course. I didn't watch it, but I know it.
I was outgrowing that by the time she came around. There was like half our class liked her, half of us weren't watching her. We were
right.
Now, of course you did, Sarah. Sarah said she loves Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Now, the Disney character of the show is turning 20 years old this year, and to celebrate, Miley Cyrus is returning for a special that will air on Disney Plus next month. The special will be filmed in front of a live studio audience and will feature an exclusive in-depth interview with Miley Cyrus. But what about Hannah, though?
Wow.
And it's hosted by Alex Cooper. The special will also revisit the moments, music, and memories that defined an era. Viewers will be treated to never-before-seen footage, while some of the most memorable sets from Hannah Montana are brought back to life.
How about that? That's exciting. I mean,
Very exciting for the fans.
Yeah, I did not watch the show. I think I did watch
Neither.
part of Hannah Montana, the movie. I think I have a
didn't get that
vague
far.
recollection of that, but at the same time, I don't know. It just feels like something that I did watch partially as a child, because I remember there was like a horse stable of some kind. People out there who are big Hannah Montana fans are probably like yelling at the TV what there is. So I don't know. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
Wasn't a Hannah Montana
we're not
fan.
Hannah Montana watchers.
My bad.
When we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Cameron Main joining us to talk about what the governor said today in his State of the State address. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app. Our next local story of the day, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker gave his 8th budget address earlier today. Cameron Main watched the address and joins us now to go over the big talking items. Take it away, Cameron.
So this is Governor J.B. Pritzker's 8th, could be his final one if he loses the election, but it is his 8th budget as State of the State address. So basically it is a time for the governor to be like, hey, going into next year, I think we should have priorities here, there, everywhere. This is a $56 billion operating expenditure budget. What does that mean? There's a bunch of items that mainly funding education, roads, all sorts of things. And so, you know, we have all these different budgets that we consider. There's like a, you know, an all-encompassing budget. But, you know, if you buy a fishing license, that goes to help fishing stuff. You know, that doesn't go to education, right? Or if you pay for a toll road, that goes to educational roads. There's different ways of how this is budgeted up. So basically, he didn't really talk a lot about the budget itself. That could be because it's quite a tight budget year going in again. For the past couple of years, Illinois has kind of enjoyed having these ARPA funds or COVID money, basically, that allowed the state government to kind of expand their spending. But they're losing a lot of that COVID money. And so they're still getting enough revenues to fund that that budget and balance it. But the problem is they sometimes have to do some, you know, weird little gimmicky tax increase. And so, for example, last year they increased taxes on, you know, sports betting. They increased taxes on smoking. And, you know, that was kind of considered as a sin tax, right? So there were a bunch of ways that they balanced the budget. This time, the only real proposal that he spoke about in his speech was a social media ban. Not a social media ban, let me rephrase that. A social media company tax. So it would tax social media companies if they have over 100,000 active Illinois users. If that goes up to 1 million, it's more. If it's between 500,000 and 1 million, it's in between the two.
Interesting.
So there are a different set of proposals heading into this where, again, this is just a preview. This is not set in stone. This is just, hey, this is what I would like to see going forward. Let's work towards this to May 31st.
Yeah, I want to ask, obviously, you know, you've had time to kind of look over what could be affected. Obviously, we're probably going to cover some of this in the next couple of days.
Right.
Of those, what do you feel like some of the topics he's hit, what do you feel like could really impact people around here?
Well, I think there was one big thing when he was talking about data centers. One of his proposals is to kind of put a pause on the tax credits on data centers. So that means developers can still set up their data centers here, but they would no longer get the tax credits for the next 2 years. That's a bill that has to go through the state legislature because I believe that tax credit money was legislated by the state legislature. So it has to go back. He can't just executive order it. But that's just something that he's been doing that could really impact the Pekin data center.
Yeah, it really could.
And so that is also another one where he's trying to get legislation passed that would ensure that if the money is increased to utility bills because of data centers, that the data centers have to eat that cost. Yeah. They can't just increase the consumer cost and then just go, oh, you've just got to deal with it now.
Yeah.
So those are some of that was one that really stood out to me. Another one is he's looking at some zoning laws.
Okay.
And this has kind of become, excuse me, a little more controversial as the days gone along because zoning laws are usually up to the municipality. he's trying to do a statewide fix, and that would affect Peoria because Peoria is a municipality. Bloomington Normal is a municipality. He's trying to do these statewide fixes to ensure that more housing is being built to help the housing market, because it's pretty rough for anyone to try and get into, especially, you know, even in central Illinois, you know, Peoria has pretty reasonable house prices, but Bloomington Normal does not. And I think it's really trying to access that cause. So those are some of the biggest items I would look out for.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Cameron, for breaking that down for us. Well, we have some great news since Cameron is in the hot seat. We wanted to congratulate him. Hold up the finger.
Oh, yeah.
On getting married last week. Cameron and his wife Sarah got married at the Peoria County Courthouse on Friday. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It does feel pretty good. I feel like a married man.
Well, I hope so.
I have a very gorgeous, talented, amazing wife. Very lucky man. I think as well, you know,
pictures.
Yeah, we had a great photographer, because obviously Sarah, she is a photographer. And then her best friend is also a fine arts photographer, so she took the photos for us. So, and the Peoria County Courthouse, for some reason, has amazing lighting. So for all those photos, that is just the natural lighting coming through the courthouse.
She did a great job.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I as soon as I saw one that you had got married and the photos popped up on Facebook, I'm like, it's gonna be fire. Because of Sarah's knowledge.
Literally. Just that background is just what really matters.
The eye of a photographer, the mind of a photographer.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was a long shoot.
Right.
And we didn't really have a reception or anything like that, because obviously I have family in Australia and she has family in America. So we're going to do separate receptions at a different date, but we were exhausted just from the wedding alone and then the photos.
Imagine if you did everything on one day.
Oh my gosh, I'd have to talk to people during that time. That would be rough.
Incredible. Yeah, awesome. Well, we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're continuing our coverage on Black History Month. Brianna will be in the hot seat to go over two stories she did, one on barbershops, another on soul food. Stick around. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, WMED is continuing to honor Black history. We're going over two stories that Brianna has worked super hard on. She's in the hot seat to talk about her series, Fellowship. So, Brianna, tell us, what is your inspiration and your idea behind these stories?
Okay, I just really, like it says, Fellowship, wanted to talk about how we connect and gather within the Black community. So exploring some spaces, what we may consider safe spaces, and how it just inspires us and encourages us and uplifts us when we come together.
Yeah, so let's talk about shop talk first. So talk about what the significance of barbershops and hair salons are to the Black community.
They are a meeting space. They are a safe space. And then, you know, a couple years ago, I did a story on the Crown Act. So like with the hair salons, you know, there was a time where that was a safe space to literally let your hair down, let it out, because you felt like I had to keep a certain look in corporate America. And so you come in here and now you can let your hair out. Barbershops, I mean, there's anything. When I went to go do the story, it was right before the big game. So they were like, who you got? Who you got? We got kids in the chair. The barber I spoke to, Mr. Gary Muhammad, that's Annie Malone, who has ties to Peoria. You know, she was one of our first Black women millionaires, so that was cool. And then actually coming up, David Struther was a barber in El Paso, Illinois, the first Black man, the first Black person to vote in the state of Illinois. And so his barbershop is now the site of the Project 15 Museum, which is Project 15 after the 15th Amendment. So we even had some local great history. But like I said, the barber I spoke to, Mr. Gary Muhammad, he has been a barber in November, will make 50 years. My grandfather was a barber until his dying day, so this was a really personal, touching story for me as well. And he, like Mr. Gary, you know, across generations, where you get somebody, then their son, their grandson, possibly even their great-grandson. You see somebody from kindergarten all the way up to, you know, high school, getting married and everything. So they're just safe spaces, meeting places for organizations. And Mr. Gary even shared a story that did not make it in this story, but he shared about like people respect the barbershop so much that if somebody got into a fight, they would run in the barbershop and people would just stand outside waiting because they, you know, completely safe space, literally.
Yeah, they're on base. They're on base. You can't do that. So now I want to shift gears a little bit on the other side of Fellowship. Talk to me a little bit about soul food.
Okay, soul food. So you have like your fried chicken, your collard greens, your cabbages and everything, but soul food is also nourishing, as in it feeds our soul to be around each other. So it had a double meaning behind that. So soul food, the origins of soul food comes through slavery, when the enslaved were given the worst cuts of the meat and growing their own vegetables, so they made the best out of what they had. Today, earlier, you had a taste of some soul food. We had the sweet potato pie from Miss Kimberly Harris. That's some sweet potatoes she made for dinner when we were there. That was a hit, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it was. It was gone within seconds.
So
Look at you go.
when we get together, we're dancing. There goes Miss Lorraine Muhammad dancing, and then there is Paris Gully, who we're about to get into him in just a second here. We're about to talk a little bit about more Paris here. So one of the things that happens, like you saw, we're dancing. We can be playing games as well. And so as I mentioned, as we saw on screen, Paris Gully, he's from Peoria Manual, actually.
Wow.
So, and he created this game.
Yeah.
Black Movies Matter.
Yep.
So Alex and I are about to spend some time
Let's do it.
playing this game.
Here we go.
We've been playing it all day.
We have.
With the
We have.
BNB.
We have.
We've been
Hey,
playing
we've
it
been
all
prepping.
day. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go first.
All right. You want to like switch off and
yeah,
stuff?
we'll switch
all right.
off.
All right. Here we go.
Your first clue. Now we're not playing it the way Paris says to play it, but we're gonna play it nonetheless.
Let's play it in our
All right. Football team mixed with black and white players.
Yep. That's Remember the Titans.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
You got it.
Whoop. All right. This is. How much money did Smokey owe Big Worm?
That was the question of the day. It was a question in the story. Kimberly Harris, it was a question for
Yeah.
her. 200.
Yeah.
And y'all saw when he was counting and he kept flipping the money.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex.
Let's see it.
Another golden ticket. Boys in the Hood. How many times did Ricky get shot?
3.
And wrong answer.
What is it?
2.
Oh no.
We just watched what Morris Chestnut
It did with the saxophone. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. This movie, stolen pie off the window ledge.
Life.
That was
just had
quick.
some sweet potato
Yeah.
pie.
Exactly. Yeah, we did.
Okay. Mr. Clark.
Oh.
East Side High.
Oh, this is
I want
It's
every door.
Nutty Professor, right? Wrong.
I want every door in this school chained and locked.
Oh,
East Side High. In the bathroom scene, fair East Side.
oh my gosh.
Lean on me.
That's it. Okay.
Oh my
Lean on
gosh.
Me. I'm
With
sorry.
Morgan Freeman?
Yes. My bad.
Please be for real.
What am I? Yeah. Wow.
That's
crazy.
Okay.
My bad.
Calvin. This ties into my story for today.
Yes, it does.
He cut a patch in the little boy's head.
Yep. Barbershop.
There
Yep,
you go.
Yep. There we go. Your turn. Here we go. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall.
Oh, 5 heartbeats easily.
Yep.
It's easy. Okay.
Cash.
Okay. We got
All right,
like
let's see it.
2 more.
Here we go.
Andre is the character's name.
Okay.
They grew up loving hip hop. I've been in love with you since the first day I saw you.
Oh, is this
It's not on here, but I'm gonna tell you, it's Sanaa Lathan in it.
Yeah. Grew up living hip hop.
It's what you can put in your sweet potato pie. Actually, it's an ingredient. Come on.
It's not. Is it sugar?
What's before sugar?
Oh,
what type of sugar?
Yep. Brown sugar.
There you
Yep.
go.
Okay.
Okay, one
Boom.
more, 'cause they're about to
Here we go.
wrap
Here we
this
go.
up.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
That was not on there.
The quote is, "Ain't with the bad guys no mo. You with the cops. Everything's gonna be all right. Trust me."
Bad boys?
Yeah.
All right, you better know it.
What a fun game. This is great.
A fun game.
I like it.
If y'all can see, there's many cards in here.
Many.
So
Many.
it's a lot. We'd
Yeah.
be here all day.
We really
Oh,
could.
excuse me. We could be here
we could
all
go
day.
on Beyond the Headlines and longer. But yeah,
right.
that's what we got today.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us on today's Beyond the Headlines.
You can find these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com. That's fun.
Yeah.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.